The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the September 13th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We're going to go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in at 877-927-6648. Now, if you can't dial in, we've got you covered there, too. You can always send me an email. Send that off to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. And, of course, inside our Tigers Den, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, you got a sea of red out there. All the U.S. indices trading to the downside, with the exception of the spot volatility, which is up $2, about 8.7%. The Dow's off 856. The S&P's down 125. The Nasdaq's off 526. The Russell's down 58. Semi's down 128. Tranny's off 354. Everything's off over 2%. To the upside, the big leaser out there is the Semi's up 4.7%. Gold is down about 1.5% or $25. Silver's off 1 7/10% or 35 cents. Light Sweet Crude is off $1. That's 1% to the downside. Natural gas is up 4 pennies. Trade out at 8.29, right into resistance, the top of a daily profile. 30-year Treasury is off nearly 1 point. She's trading down at 131.30. Now, leading the charge to the upside, you've got Neurobo Pharmaceuticals up $43, 264%. They've solved something. Akero Therapeutics up $15, 123%. Other than that, we've got Cheniere Energy's up $4. LNG's a ticker symbol there. Otherwise, it's a bunch of ETFs. So to the downside, Booking Holdings off $77, nearly 4%. Mercado Libre is over 4%, nearly 5%, or $48. BlackRock is off 42 or 6%. IDEX Laboratories down 7.5%. MicroStrategy down about 10% or $25. So we got some shakers, and we do have a few movers out there. But let's begin by taking as well. Let's do this. First of all, this is all about us trying to find support. And then what does price do at support? So if we just start with this blank chart here for the Dow, make sure I'm on the right page, I am. Let's just begin to populate it. So if you give me a moment, I'll get my drawing tools out, so to speak. And the first thing that we're going to do is put in the current descending trend line. Trend/channel line out here. So this is what the S&P, this is the Dow, I should take. This is what the Dow has been trading within. It looked like, and it still may be the case, looked like the Dow was going to try to make its way up back to the top of that descending trend line out there. If it takes out the lows, I'd say the lows from yesterday, odds would favor that's going to hit the bottom of that trend line. So that's one trend channel line out there. We have a larger one, and that looks like this. That's taking a look at the 2020 lows out there. And now you've got a rising price channel and a sub-correction. This is under Bud Rolf's, a sub-correction price channel. That's the ones in the red lines out there. And so price is on its way back to support, that blue diagonal line out there. So support has not busted. If support does break, what does that mean? Or do we have anything else? I can show you the larger channel time frames that take us back into the 2009 era. So here we can see if we just simply, we're looking at the trend lines out here. If we just simply start at the lows of 2009, we connect that to the lows of March of 2020, and then we identify the real channel line up there by the connection of the open or closes of these candles out here. And once that is established, those are the two yellow solid lines out there. Then we have the price difference, and then for each new channel, it is equal to that same price difference out there. Interesting how that actually really works out here, both at the highs from back in 2020 as well as the highs in 2021, 2022 out here. So those are the channels. The only other channels that we can put out there are the horizontal trading ranges. Those are the green lines. So we can see right now, price is sitting right at support. If we turn a couple of these things off, do we need the yellow ones out there? No, we don't need those, so let's turn those off. And here is maybe a little bit of a cleaner look. So price right now inside the Dow, pretty close to testing support. So what we can say, what we can conclude at this stage of the game with regard to the Dow cash indice, and price can pull back just a bit further, but price has not busted through support, and that is really important. Now let's move on beyond the Dow. Let's go take a look at the daily equity future contracts out here. So to do that, we switch over to this set of charts. Here in the upper left, you've got the ES Mini. And right now, the ES Mini is sitting at a potential support level. Why potential? Because at the center of a profile, you have where both buyers and sellers believe there's fair value within inside the entire profile. That profile ranges from 39.33 to 40.67. So this is a potential level of support, 4,000. We're trading at 39.98. What happened if price closes below this area? Well, then the signal is that it should make its way back to support, which would be at 38.93. We can also see we have trend line support as well. So that is where price needs to close below to then establish a new A to B equals CD to the downside pattern. That has not unfolded just yet. We need to see how support is dealt with. In the case of the NQ, it is trading into its bullish structured area of its daily profile. So its support range is really between 12,126 and 12,386, where we're at now. Doesn't tell us whether price will get back to the 12,126 level or not. For that, we need to look at intraday time period, see if there's any kind of signals out there or not. What we can see, though, is that the NQ has made its way back into its swing point from the trading session of September the 6th. That high is 12,314. We are at 12,290. If price closes below 12,314, whether it's with volume or without volume, that suggests that price should go test the low. Well, we've got profile support right at that 12,126 and trendline support just below that. So that is likely where price is headed to, but we really have to go take a look at the intraday charts, see how the ES Mini deals with its potential level of support, the center of its profile. And now let's go take a look at the Dow. The Dow has a bearish structured profile. Price is below the center of that bearish structured profile, which is 31,813. If price closes below 31,813 today, then when you close below the center of a bearish structure, odds favor, and I don't know what the probability is, I know that it's high. That means it's not a coin toss. It's not a 60-40. It's not a 70-30. It's high. You close below the center of a profile, that signal then is that the sellers should be able to push price down to support. In this case here, support is 31,319, or just below that, a rising trend line. We have the same situation going on inside the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 is trying to pull back into strong support. It has a bullish structured daily profile. That's between 1805 and 1843. Price has not even made its way to 1843. The low so far, 1848. The Russell 2000 is the strongest of these four equity future contracts based upon their TAS market profile behavior. So what do we know? With a market that's moving lower significantly, support in many instances has not been tested and has not been busted through. When we come back from this break, we don't have any questions. We'll start digging down into the equity future contracts, multi-time frame charts. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Of booming inflation, where your purchasing power is eroded, there's no better place to protect your hard-earned money than in gold. Vista Gold's flagship asset is the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Australia's largest undeveloped gold project. We are talking a world-class gold project in a Tier 1 mining district. This is a large-scale, low-cost project with significant existing infrastructure in a politically safe and friendly mining jurisdiction. Vista Gold just completed the Mount Todd feasibility study, which resulted in a 7 million ounce gold reserve and a 16-year mine life. All of this, combined with the approvals of all major operational as well as environmental permits. This distinguishes Mount Todd as an attractive, de-risk partner, ready development stage gold project Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol VGZ.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. We'll switch over, take a look at the Russell 2000 charts for G-Man, who is short the IWM, but we'll take a look at the Russell 2000. There's a question also inside the Tiger's Den from InnoVisual, who's asking if today's move lower inside the S&P generates a island top out there. And technically it does, because you do have a gap between, first of all, the high from September 9th, that was on Friday, versus the low of yesterday. So that created a little bit of a gap, and obviously you've got a gap to the downside. But InnoVisual, with regard to the S&P 500 or the SPYs out there, I'm a pattern recognition trader. What that means to me is that more data is better than less data. And therefore, all of the major signals are really coming from the equity future contract. So if we take a look at the equity future contract, which we won't do at the second, we will do that. We do not have any kind of island top or abandoned baby or anything along those lines out there. And so I suggest a pause in trying to reach that conclusion that that's it, it's over, and markets are headed lower. They may do that, but I wouldn't be basing that upon the SPY or the S&P 500 island top that is out there. Instead, I'd be looking for the equity future contract to see what happened there. So I hope that that helps you out. Now let's go switch over and take a look at the Russell 2000. It's the IWM that the G-Man is short, but now after just providing with that soapbox derby out there, we need to go take a look at the actual equity future contract. And we can switch over and take a look at the IWM. But what we're trying to do here, G-Man, again, is use the multi-time frame set of charts out here to see if we can identify any kind of tops or bottoms that are forming. So let's start with the very short-term time frame chart, the 10-minute. The idea here, if there's going to be a bottom will form first on the intraday time periods and then make their way up to the daily, weekly, monthly, and so forth. So on a 10-minute basis, all that we have as we speak right now is a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that's been triggered. It needs a bullish reversal candle. But really what you need here is a close above its oscillator and change line in order to suggest that there's any kind of rally. And when I say any kind of rally, that line is at 1853. That would at least take you up to 1865 or maybe 1880. So the 10-minute chart does not suggest that you close out that position. The 15-minute chart has a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. It needs a bullish reversal candle, and it needs a close above 1865.40 to suggest that there could be some legs. So this does not suggest moving to close out that position or anything along those lines. If we take a look at the 30-minute time frame chart, no bottom signal in bar number 6 as we speak. So that suggests price is headed lower. The 60-minute time frame chart, no signal there of a bottom. That suggests a move down to 1824. That's its TD9 count breakout area. The Russell 2000 has made its way on a 120-minute basis through 2 breakout areas. Typically, you get through one breakout area, you go to the next. Well, in this case here, that's suggesting 1824. At 1824.50, you have a breakout area for both the 2-hour and the 1-hour time frame chart. And guess what? You've got it for the 4-hour time frame chart as well. That 240-minute chart shows no bottom signal, price below the bottom of its profile. So it looks to me, and on the 5-hour chart, price is below its breakout level of 1863. So that suggests lower price. It's below profile support out there. So it looks to us at this stage of the game. Now, you don't know whether this happens overnight. So that's the thing that I can't let you know is whether this happens overnight out here. But it does look like the Russell 2000, as we speak, at 11:22 in the morning, is signaling its intent to pull back to 1824. Will it find support there? I don't know. It is a strong support area. That is most certain out there. And so it is likely to find support. Of course, if price is pulling back to that level on the 240, the 120, and the 60-minute, we should see some type of bottom signal, or you should see some type of bottom signal on the 30, the 15, or the 10-minute charts out there. Now, I can move over and take a look at the daily, weekly, monthly. I can put up IWM. This will take just a moment to populate out here. The problem is I won't have those same set of data out there. No matter what, even if I put on the same intraday time period, we will not get that same breakout data. And that's why if you trade the Russell 2000, the IWM, those derivatives, anything that you've got out there, get access to the Russell 2000 equity future contract so that you can watch the patterns forming. And I recommend doing a multi-time frame set of charts out here. On a daily time frame chart for the IWM, as I mentioned, the IWM is still the strongest of the 4 equity future contracts. So the other ones start to turn, well, that could easily bleed over into the Russell 2000. We don't have a signal of that right now, but we can see on the IWM price is pulling back into a gap. So that could be a support area. Now, what I will do here is I won't change screens. I just need to change screens on my own out here. The IWM so far today has 11.9 million shares. The swing point, that swing point is all the way down here. That's the one from the trading day of September the 6th. That swing point on September 6th did 23 million shares. Wait a minute, 23, and today we are at 12 so far. That's 2 hours of trading. So it does appear that price is pulling back with some volume, and so I wouldn't look at that gap as really being a support area. It could be a support area, but it's pulling back with volume and likely headed lower. The bottom of its profile is 179.29 on a daily basis. I do not know whether price will get back there or not. Because if on the intraday session overnight, early in the morning, 3 o'clock, 3:30, typically the IWM gets down to that area and bounces at 1824, whatever the number was that we were looking at, and bounces from there, it could be off to the upside, a real possibility. The other level of support for the IWM would be the the top of its weekly profile and its weekly oscillator and change line, right around 180.83. So that's another area of support, 180.83. You got 179.29 on the daily. And in the monthly chart, it would be 175.65. So I hope that helps you out with regard to the Russell 2000. Thanks so much for the request out there. That was for G-Man. I'll check my emails. I don't believe I have any other requests inside the Tiger's Den. If I do, if you would be kind enough to go ahead and type that in, I'd be happy to get to that. I don't see anything here by email. So that means what we're going to do is we're going to go take a look at the NQ and the ES Mini. Which one do you want to do first, folks? Okay. ES Mini it is. So let's go take a look at the ES. Let's get the December contract fired up here. We'll do the same thing. Make sure I'm on the right page. Yeah, we'll do the same thing as we did with the Russell 2000. Again, we're going to start with the shortest term time frame chart. See if there's any kind of message there. And that is the 10-minute. That is the lower right-hand panel. And then we'll go to 15. On the lower right-hand panel for the ES Mini, looks like there could be a TD9 count bottom that is going to attempt to form. In fact, it is. And this is a 10-minute chart. It's going to attempt to form between 11:30 and 11:40. Whatever the low is by 11:40, whatever the low of the day is by 11:40. If you see a 10-minute close below that, that tells you this pattern has failed and that there's strong momentum to the downside on a 10-minute basis. We can also see that price would need to close above its red oscillator and change line currently at 4,002 to suggest that any kind of TD9 count bottom might have some legs. And those legs would then take price up to presumably to 40.18 or 40.36. So it's got potential on a 10-minute basis over the course of the next 14 minutes. On a 15-minute time frame, the 15-minute time frame has a TD9 count bottom. That will get negated with any 15-minute bar that closes below 4,000.25. Right now we're at 39.99, so you got about 3.5 minutes. Price closes below that, that pattern gets negated and suggests we head lower. 30-minute, no bottom signal. 60-minute price is pulling back to its next breakout level of 39.9675. You close below that, that suggests lower price. That lower price could easily take us to 39.6950. The 120-minute TD9 count breakout level, which is matched by also the 240 and the 5-hour time frame chart. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, JDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back up, folks. So let's summarize the ES mini charts out there. That is if this area here does not hold the support, which is basically the 4,000 area. That's the center of its daily profile. Then it would appear to me that price is going to go target 39.6950. That's the breakout level that's shared by the 5-hour, 4-hour, and 2-hour time frame charts out there. 39.96, 39.69. Let me just see the. Yeah, I don't. Well, it could be. I just don't have it. So that looks to me like where price would be headed to if this area fails. Got that TD9 count on the. I want to see where that last bar closed. So the low was 4,000.25. This closed in this last bar, 4,150. So the 15-minute TD9 count bottom is still held. And you now have a TD9 count bottom on the 10-minute chart that is in play out here. This next bar would be the final bar here. The price is tinkering. So it looks like the ES Mini, at least right now at 11:31, looks like it's going to try to stage a rally. That's what the short-term charts are doing. But it just look, and that bounce might only take us to 40.16. But larger picture, at this stage of the game, it looks like 39.6950 is where the ES Mini is going to head to. Let's move away from these charts and go take a look at some requests that have come in. The first one coming in from Duncan Steve, who wants to take a look at Amazon. And the request is, can you take a look at, see where it goes? Thank you. You're welcome. So we take a look at Amazon. Amazon, on the daily basis, the chart is pretty easy for you and I to read out here, Steve-O. And that is that price is doing what? It is consolidating with inside its daily profile. That's between the range of 125.08 at the bottom of support and 136.41. That is the top of the profile. So you've just got a consolidation. Volume so far today in Amazon is 27 million. The swing point that it's testing or maybe pulling back into has 56 million. So you really need to see the end of the day. Now, if price can test and reject, that's 128.02, the high of the September 1st, with lighter volume. Then you'd have a rejection of a swing point with lighter volume. You can't bust them down. You try to bust them up. If you close inside that swing point, anything below 128.02, and you do it with more than 56 million shares, and price is likely to test the low, that'd be 123.66. Knowing that at 125.08, you have some buyers that are lined up there. So that's what it looks like Amazon is doing as we speak right now. I don't really see any reason to go take a look at any other charts out here, although I can put up the 30-minute chart. And on the 30-minute chart out there, if you got a real big confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, the price dealing with a breakout level of support of 128.55. If this area here does not hold that support, then we're looking at a move on a 30-minute basis down to 125.40. 125.40. That takes us to where? 125.08, the bottom of that daily profile. So Duncan Steve, I hope that helps you out with regard to Amazon. Thank you so much for the request. MKC inside our Tiger's Den wants to take a look at three different symbols. JetBlue, JBLU is one of them. So let's go ahead and get those charts up on our screen. The other two, in case you want to try to get ahead of the game and come up and tell me what I might say and what the price is doing, that would be helpful. That's going to be for Tesla and for Coinbase, COIN. So TSLA, COIN, those are the ones that are on the on-deck circle. With regard to JetBlue, and the question is, hey, Steve, please don't, just says, please take a look, basically, please take a look at these. So let's take a look at JetBlue. Right now, what do you have out here? Well, in the case of JetBlue, you do have a actual island top out here. But regardless of that, what is price doing? The first level of support that it needs to deal with now, or the next level of support, is 795. The first level was 815, busting through that gap down through there. If 794 does not hold, volume today out here so far on JetBlue is 3.5 million shares. 3.5 million is going against 11 million shares out there from the trading day of September the 7th. So so you're pulling back with light volume, or it appears as such at 11:30 in the morning. If 795 does not hold the support, then odds favor that price is going to make its way into its bullish structured profile area, and that is between 759 and 778. The weekly time frame chart has a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. The price right now is trading below the bottom of its bullish structured profile. It really doesn't matter what it's doing at 11:30 on Tuesday. It matters what it's doing at 4 o'clock on Friday. And the price closes below the bottom of that profile at 818. Then likely we'd see a test of 750. That's the low of the candle session from the week of September the 9th out there last week. Monthly chart, no bottom signal at all. So you've got the bottom on the daily, the bottom on the weekly, price pulling back with lighter volume. And we don't have a bottom signal out here on a 30-minute time frame. So we still may get a further move lower, although I take that back. You could get a buy the D point, right? Yeah, absolutely. So this is more than a one-to-one. A to B equals C to the downside. You may be generating a bullish reversal candle here. It's a 30-minute base. We won't know for 25 minutes. If we do, then JetBlue should bounce up to about the 816 to 820 area out there. So with regard to JetBlue, it does look pretty good. Do admit to that, but may be better to take a look at what it's doing at the end of the day, MKC. The next request was Tesla, TSLA. So let's get that fired up out here, see what Tesla is doing. So far, it's trading. Well, it's so Tesla, this is an interesting chart to look at. Price is trading above the top of its daily profile, but below its green oscillator and change line. So one level of support has failed, but another one exists out there. So this is almost a neutral-ish type of a signal out here. Price did make its way back to its TD9 count breakout level after forming a TD9 count pattern on a daily basis. So we can see that clearly on the charts out there. If price continues to move lower, 287.50 will become its price target. Price also made its way up to resistance at the top of the weekly profile, 301.19. So you had a bunch of resistance going on yesterday. Looked like it was going to break out. Obviously, this morning has a different idea. That different idea, if price is going to pull back, then the support range is going to be first at 287.50. If it closes below that, 279 and change out there, and below that we'd be looking at 269 to 272. We don't have that message just yet. Moving lower would make sense, but it may be just testing the top of that daily profile. Volume so far today inside of Tesla has been about 31 million shares. 31 million shares is going against 54 million shares, is going against 53 million shares. So it does have some pretty decent volume on this pullback out here. See what that volume is at the end of the day, but still volume schmolium, because price is still above the top of its daily profile out there. So it's sort of bullish to neutral out here when we take a look at Tesla on the daily time frame. 30-minute doesn't have any kind of a bottom signal out there. So nothing more that I can really share with you, MKC on Tesla. The last one is going to be Coinbase. COIN is the ticker symbol out here. Let's go see what Coinbase is doing and what it's trading at. Again, COIN is what we're going to be looking at here momentarily. Trading out at 76.32. It, like Tesla, is trading above the top of its profile. The difference between this and Tesla, it's also trading above its green oscillator and change line. Now, that had changed colors just about 3 days ago. Typically, we see a test of that level. But its condition right now, Coinbase, is still bullish. Bullish because you're above the top of a daily profile and above a green oscillator and change line. On a weekly basis, Coinbase is consolidating between its profile levels, basically between 56.05 and 101.73. No bottom pattern that is completed yet on the monthly time frame out here. So if Coinbase continues to head lower, I don't have any reason to suggest that it won't. It should do is go target that 73.80 level. If it tests and rejects that green oscillator and change line, that suggests then the price will go ahead and make its way up, or attempt to make its way up to 86.36. That's the TD9 count breakdown level. So we got a consolidation on the weekly basis, and we've got a bullish style type move on the daily basis out there. But still watch for a pullback into that green oscillator and change line around 73.80. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We've got the Dow trading down 894 points. S&P's off 131. NASDAQ is off 544, and that's for the request is to go take a look at the NQ. So we're going to go take a look at the NQ in detail out here. Again, let's just start with the short-term time frame charts first. 10-minute time frame chart has what? It has a TD9 count confirmed bottom out here. Price is trading above its red oscillator and change line. That suggests that price should go target the top of its profile. The top of its profile is 12,334. If price can close above 12,334, price should make a run for 12,410. The 10-minute chart is the message. The 15-minute chart says, I don't know what the heck you guys are talking about. It has negated a TD9 count bottom. So it makes that 10-minute chart a little bit suspect. No bottom signal in the 30-minute time frame chart. The earliest you'd see a TD9 count bottom number 7, 8, 9, 10, that would take you to about 1:30. So that would be during Larry Pesavento's hour out there. So that's a possibility. 60-minute is trading below a second breakout level of 12,305. That suggests lower price. 12,305 is really the area where the NQ should have held its support. If we take a look at a TD9 count breakout area in the 60-minute, which is matching the TD9 count breakout on the 120, matching the 240, matching the 5-hour time frame chart out there. So the NQ is not giving you very good signals. Well, it's giving you very good signals. The signals are that price should continue to move lower. Now, the 2-hour chart time frame, bar is not complete until noon, so that's another 15 minutes. So we'll watch at 12,305. The 4-hour time frame chart, not till 2. And the 5-hour time frame chart, that will also be at 2 p.m. out there. So it's kind of difficult to, definitively say whether we're going to close below 12,305. But if we do, that most certainly is suggesting lower price. Lower price would be where? Then we go back to the daily time frame, and the target would be the bottom of its daily profile. That would be at the 12,126 level. Of course, we take that out, and we take out the swing point from back on September the 7th. That would set up an A to B equals C to the downside. We cross that bridge as we get to it. So that's what the Qs are doing. Now, if I look at, I'm just on the index ETFs, I take a look at the QQQs, which have volume of, on September 6th, 57 million shares. Price is pulling back into that swing point. The high of that swing point is 296.60. The low so far today is 297.14, so that has not been hit. But you've done 34 million shares. Now, you're not seeing that on your screen out there. I'm just sharing that with you. You've done 34 million shares, and that's, again, going against 57 million shares out there. But 12,126 should be where price finds support. That is, unless we see a bit of a bounce, which is the 10-minute chart. It's the only one that's suggesting that's a possible outcome right now. And if the 12,305 level holds, I don't know whether it will. It's really a toss-up as we speak right now that it will. So that area, 12,305 or 12,126 is what you'd be keeping your eyes on. So I hope that helps you out. There's a request in here to take a look at the XBI. This is for McGuppy. And let's go to our 3 time frame charts out here. Let's get that up on our screen. That was XBI, and XBI is XBI. is the S&P Biotech. So the S&P Biotech is now pulled back into its daily profile, and the daily profile is a range of support at 82.88 and resistance at 86.51. You're pretty much sitting at about the center, just below it. The center's 84.69. You're at 84.50. You close below 84.69. Well, what's the volume doing? It's trading into its swing point from the trading day of September 7th. September 7th had volume of 11 million shares. Today, so far, you've done 6.8. If price closes, which it looks like it may do, but I don't know whether it will. If price closes below 84.96, you're coming to that swing point with volume. It really opens up the door for the bottom of that swing point to be tested. But you and I know that the buyers are lined up at 82.88. Those buyers didn't exactly contain price on September 6th out there, so I'm not so convinced that that's what it's going to do is hold price at 82.88. But XBI right now consolidated with inside its daily profile, going to close inside or below the level of 84.96 with more than 11 million shares today. Suggest, McGuppy, that price will head lower out there. It's really about all that I see out here that's worth noting. Other support could be at 78.96, the weekly oscillator and change. Well, okay, whoa. So, McGuppy, you got a TD9 count top on the weekly time frame. That completed the week of August the 26th. It actually completed its high, or formed its high on August the 12th out there. Typically, when you form a topping pattern, in this case here, a TD9 count top, price will pull its way back to support. It's below the top of the daily profile, or the weekly profile, I should say. That really opens up that door for a move down towards that oscillator and change line, currently printed at 78.95. So I hope that helps you out with regard to the biotechs out there. So you own several biotechs, want to know where key support and resistance levels are for the daily, weekly, and monthly. So I think I provided that to you, or at least I hope that I have. If you need any other information, please let me know. Tesla downtrend. I think there was a request to take a look at Berkshire Hathaway. So let's try to get that up on our screens. BRK.B out here. On this chart, I think it's BRK_B. BRK_B. Let's see if we get that to pop up. There we go. So Berkshire Hathaway, right now, really like almost everything else that we're taking a look at, it's trading below red oscillator and change line. A red oscillator and change line tells us that we have a falling price oscillator below zero. Those are bearish conditions. Okay, we have that established. Where is support? Turns out on a daily basis, Berkshire Hathaway is trading with inside a bullish structure daily profile. Its support zone, and we have to call it a zone, is between the bottom at 277.78 and the center at 280.21. Volume so far today on its pullback out here has got volume of 1.1 million shares. It's going into a swing point out there that has volume of 3.5 million shares. It has tested, I believe it's tested, let's see, the high of that swing point, September 7th, 281.74. The low so far, 281.76, 2 pennies away. So it looks like it's going to test, or it should test that level out there. That level being that swing point from September the 7th. Volume, you have to take a look at the volume at the end of the day. Out there right now, it appears to be pulling back on heavy volume. You've got a TD9 count bottom on the weekly time frame. That's still in play out here. So it just looks like the rest of the markets looks like they still want to head lower. Support area 277.78 to 280.21 on Berkshire Hathaway. So I hope that helps whoever put that request in there. That was Duncan Steve as well. So a quick check. Let me just a quick check of my phone out here. We have not gotten any requests by email. So I suppose, and that would be typical, I think, on a day like today. Everybody's trying to figure out, okay, what does all this mean? Where are prices likely headed to? Remember, our role out here right now is to try to identify support and then figure out what is price going to do as it gets there. Well, one of those support levels might be gold. So let's go take a look at Goldilocks out here. If you give me a moment, we'll get to a different set of charts. There we go. So we'll take a look at the December gold contract. We'll use our multi-time frame set of charts out here. Let's also begin with the shorter time frame, which I believe is going to be the upper right-hand corner once these charts are populated, which will be the 30-minute time frame. So let's go from the 30 on down and then back up to the daily and weekly time frame. Right now, you've got the December contract for gold trading out at 1713. Support level on the daily basis is at 1707.90. That's already been tagged. So now let's go see if there's any kind of bottom signals on those intraday charts out there. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Vista Gold owns and operates the largest undeveloped gold project in Australia, the Mount Todd Gold Project. Vista Gold just completed their feasibility study, resulting in a 7 million ounce gold reserve. Vista Gold has all major permits approved and has retained CIBC capital market assistance in evaluating alternatives and in completing an accretive transaction. Vista Gold trades on the NYSE American and TSX under the ticker symbol VGZ. Vista Gold, executing a strategy to create shareholder value.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. If we take a look at that spot volatility index right now, you can see it's well above. That's the lower left-hand chart. Well above its 50-day exponential moving average, which is printed at 24.23 and running right up into the top of that 50-to-1 Bollinger Band reading out here. Not really much else. Everything looks, quite frankly, orderly when I take a look at where the spot volatility index is trading versus its forward-looking contracts out there. So everything seems to be quite normal out here. Let's go back to gold. Finish off, take a look at gold, which is right now pulling back to the daily support area. The daily support area, that's a third chart from the left up top, being the bottom of its profile at 1707.10, and its breakout area at 1696.10. It does have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern out here. What we don't have is a pattern completion on the intraday charts. We do on a 5-hour basis have price pulling back to its breakout level of support at 1709. That can be a bottom pulling back to a breakout level. 1707 was the breakout level on the 4-hour time frame chart. I don't have any kind of pattern on the 2-hour, nor do I have any kind of pattern on the 60-minute, nor do I have any kind of pattern on the 30-minute chart out there. So it would really be price pulling back into support of the daily, a breakout level of support of the 240, and the 5-hour time frames out there. What happens if this area fails? Well, you've got one more level of support. That's a bullish hammer candle down from April the 2nd, 1694.50. If price closed below that, then we're headed lower inside of Goldilocks out there. So that's what's going on with gold. There was a request. I don't know. We have a ton of time out here. What was the other request for? No, it was just for gold. And then okay, so I think we've gotten through everything, which is a beautiful thing out there. What else can I provide you with? Okay, so there's a comment about the euro. out here, which is getting clobbered. It's been getting clobbered for a long time out here. That's from Peter, who says on a daily basis, maybe it's a daily basis, I think you were talking about, price pulled back to the 0.618 retracement level. The top chart here is the euro. That's based on market close. The bottom chart is the euro, and that's based upon the low. You can see the euro is at basically new all-time lows. The point that I want to make here, as bad as our markets might look, people are fleeing Europe, and they're going into the U.S. dollar. That's eventually going to flow into the U.S. stock market out here. And that's going to set up a gigantic move higher, even as bad as things are. Why? Because money has to flow somewhere. It's going to be flowing out of Europe right here to the good old U.S. of A. Folks, have a terrific Tuesday. I'll see you on Wonderful Wednesday, 11 o'clock sharp. Take care. Have a great day.